guys, for the next part of this class, I love to talk about a character trait at least once a week. And our character trait this week is the word persistent. Persistent. Maybe you've heard it before, maybe you know what it means, maybe you don't know what it means, but I want you to pause this video and take a guess at what the word persistent means. Go ahead. All right, welcome back. So you might have made some guesses, heard very many different guesses on what the word persistent means, but I had to look it up to know exactly what that word means. The definition is continuing firmly or obstinately in a course of action in spite of difficulty or opposition. Continuing firmly or obstinately in a course of action in spite of difficulty or opposition. Continuing. Continuing means to carry on firmly. Okay, firmly means not just kind of wandering, but in a very, how do I want to say this? In a very poignant direction. In a very intended direction. You're going exactly where you mean to go. So continuing firmly or obstinately in a course of action in spite of difficulty or opposition. So if you went somewhere or you did something and it was very easy, you didn't really have to be persistent. But if you had to overcome some sort of opposition or difficulty, well, then you were very persistent. I have two wonderful examples of the definition. The first one is a story that I'm sure we've all heard, The Little Train That Could. And the story is all about a little train going up a big hill and it's pulling so many cars behind it and it's working super hard and it finally makes it to the top of the hill. Well, he had a lot to overcome. He was pulling cars behind him. He was just the little train that could, and he eventually makes it. So he overcame some difficulty there. The other example I have for you is teaching in a pandemic. Absolutely, we have to be very persistent because there's many challenges, whether it's scheduling, whether it's what kind of curriculum we're going to teach, whatever it is, we're constantly overcoming challenges and obstacles. But as long as we never give up, we're being persistent. Those are the two examples I have for the word persistent. I also like to include a quote. So here's the quote. Persistence guarantees that results are inevitable. Persistence guarantees that results are inevitable. What do you guys think that means? Go ahead and pause it and take some guesses. All right, welcome back. Hopefully you had a good guess on what that means. Persistence guarantees that results are inevitable. If you are not willing to give up, well, then you are always going to get some sort of results. Sometimes, unfortunately, we get results that are not desirable. Some of us categorize those as failures. But a failure is only a failure when you stop trying. If you're persistent, then you try something and it doesn't work, then you try it again a different way. And if it doesn't work, then you try it again a different way. And that's what being persistent is about. So I have 3 questions for you, and I want you to pause after each question. The first question is, are you persistent? Are you persistent in, well, I'm asking that, what are you persistent in? Go ahead and pause the video, have a conversation, or think to yourself, am I persistent? And if so, what am I persistent in? Go ahead and pause. All right, excellent answers there. Are you persistent and what are you persistent in? As I'm thinking about this, I am very persistent in many aspects of my life. I work very hard to get better at most of these sports and athletic things that I do, as well as many hobbies that I have. Okay. However, I'm a pretty lazy cook. I really don't like cooking. I'm not very good at it and I don't try it that much. So I think I am persistent. However, there's definitely room for growth. Which leads me into my next question. How can you be persistent? Well, I'm already persistent in certain aspects. However, I feel that it's important that I continue to develop as a cook. So go ahead and think of that answer. How can you guys be persistent? Where are areas in your life that you can improve? Go ahead and pause and think about that. And finally, welcome back to the last question is, why should you be persistent? Why is it important to to try things over and over, go ahead and pause and think about your answer. And welcome back. You should be persistent because it's how we grow. A lot of people think that life is about failure, but it's not. It's about growing from those failures. So you're going to try many things in life, and I guarantee you probably have already tried many things. I don't think anybody just stood up and walked on their first try without falling. You're going to try many things in life and you're going to fail, but it's important to be persistent. I'm going to try doing these lessons this way, and maybe they'll work and maybe they won't work, but at the end of the day, I'm going to be persistent. That's all that matters, is that we continue to try. So thank you for coming to the character trait portion of this lesson. I hope you guys learned and really absorbed what the ideas are about being persistent. It's very important that we know this word, we understand this word, and we utilize this word, all right? I'll see you guys in the next part of the lesson.